This video we're going to be going over how to wire and change the parameter settings if you have decided to purchase an external humidistat. It's relatively easy. As far as wiring the humidistat, it's going to require a 3-conductor, 18 gauge, just standard plenum rated wire, and that will go to the humidistat, and then it will be terminated into the electrical side of your humidifier, which we'll go over towards the end. The first thing we're going to need to do is go over to the terminal and make a few adjustments so that it'll see the humidistat reading from an external source. So locally here we are disabled just at the local terminal. So we're just going to want to turn that on first. And right now we are on the embedded humidistat, which is 55% humidity in the room. We're going to want to hold down the program button until you see 0, and we're going to want to go up to 7.7. The first parameter is going to be AO. That's what we're going to want to change. AO, we're going to want to hold down the program and go down to number 2. We're also going to want to confirm the voltage going to that humidistat. So we're going to want to go up to A2 now and make sure that is number 1 if you're utilizing the factory humidistat that was ordered with the unit. The other nice thing that you can do with this humidifier is, since we now have 2 humidistats essentially, is we're going to use the remote humidistat as control, but now we could use the embedded humidistat in the humidifier as a high limit. In order to do that, we need to go up to BH. If you choose to do this, but you don't have to. We're going to want to go to BH, and we're going to want to turn that on. It was set to 0. So now we're going to want to turn it on. The other thing you're going to need to do is, now that you're utilizing this high humidistat as a high limit, we're going to need to make the set point. So at that, you're going to need to go to SL. SL is your set point. We have it set at 80. You'll also need to tell it what the hysteresis is going to be of 80. With that, you're going to need to go down to BL. BL is your hysteresis. We have it set at 5. That's all that's required at this point, and you can go ahead and back out of it. So if we start from the beginning where it says enable, you're going to want to go down 1 time. The first RH is your control relative humidity, your remote humidistat. The next one is going to be your temperature. Keep in mind, this temperature is still coming from the embedded humidistat on the humidifier. The next one is going to be your high limit humidity. So we're at 60, so if we get up to 75, we're going to start scaling back. If we get up to 80, we're going to go into alarm. But it's going to start at 75 because we have it set at 80 plus or minus 5. You'll also see you'll have your runtime hours. Now PO on startup, if you didn't watch that, PO is your the amount of humidification that comes out of the humidifier when it's calling 100%. So to keep numbers simple, if it were a 10 pound an hour humidifier and we have this set at 50, if it's calling for 100%, it's still only going to produce 5 pounds an hour humidification. But we set these at the factory at 80. But you surely can go up to 100 if you like. The next one is BP, which is your hysteresis set point, your hysteresis of the set point. We have it set at 10. And then of course is your SP. And that's your set point. Your BL, like we already gone through, is your proportional deadband for your high limit, and your SL is your high limit for your high limit set point. That's all there is on the terminal. Now let's go over to the electrical side of the unit, and that is where you'll wire this in. We've already done this for timing reasons, but just so you'll see, the 3 wire you're going to want to connect onto these 1, 2, and 3. In the IOM manual, we have it described very simple with color to color on both the humidistat and the humidifier. So that will make it very simple. Make sure when you make these connections that the humidifier is turned off by the button on front. At that point, you're ready to turn the unit on, and now you have a remote sensing of the remote humidistat, and you've also utilized the high humidity limit for an internal. Hopefully this video has been useful. Until the next time, enjoy.